You don't wake up one morning and suddenly ruin your life. It happens quietly. One skipped conversation, one more hour scrolling, one more night telling yourself, I'll fix it tomorrow. And eventually your life starts feeling like a room nobody's lived in for years. Not destroyed, just abandoned. That's the strange part about feeling broken. Most people aren't collapsing dramatically. They're drifting slowly, functioning externally while internally disconnected from everything that used to make them feel alive. You still answer texts, still go to work, still laugh at things sometimes. But underneath all of it, something feels missing, like you left yourself somewhere and forgot how to get back. The worst part? You probably think the solution needs to be massive, a complete reinvention, a new body, a new career, a 6-hour morning routine involving cold plunges and motivational podcasts narrated by a man yelling at you from a mountain. But broken lives rarely need dramatic rescue. Most of the time, they need reconnection, and that can begin in 24 hours, not because your problems disappear overnight. They won't. But because direction changes faster than circumstances do. That's what nobody tells you. You can still be in debt and moving forward, still anxious and healing, still exhausted and finally coming back to life. The shift begins before your external world catches up. Here's the first thing: stop trying to fix your entire future tonight. Your brain cannot carry 10 years of regret and still think clearly. Most people destroy themselves mentally by trying to solve their whole existence at once. Career, relationships, health, money, purpose. Childhood trauma, sleep schedule, all before breakfast. No nervous system survives that peacefully. You don't need a 5-year plan right now. You need one honest day, just one. One day where you stop feeding the chaos. One day where you stop numbing every uncomfortable feeling with noise, because distraction has become most people's survival strategy. The phone comes out the second silence appears. Waiting in line, scroll. Feeling anxious, scroll. Lonely, scroll. Overwhelmed, watch something until your brain shuts off. Modern life trained you to escape yourself constantly, and eventually you stop knowing who you are without stimulation. That's why your life feels blurry. You're physically present everywhere and mentally absent the entire time. Let me show you something strange. Your life is built from attention. Whatever consistently gets your attention becomes your reality. If your attention goes to stress, outrage, comparison, fear, and endless stimulation, your inner world starts reflecting that chaos. Not because you're weak, because attention shapes identity, and right now most people's attention is shattered into 1,000 pieces. So here's what happens in the next 24 hours. Not transformation, not perfection, recovery. The first step starts tomorrow morning. Before touching your phone, sit still for 60 seconds. That's it. No inspirational speech, no journaling prompts, no productivity hacks. Just sit there. Notice the urge to reach for stimulation immediately. That urge matters more than you think, because most people haven't been alone with their own thoughts in years. Then ask yourself one question. What kind of day would actually make me respect myself tonight? Not impress people, not optimize, respect. The answer is usually embarrassingly simple. Drink water, go outside, answer the message you've been avoiding, clean the room you keep pretending doesn't affect you. People underestimate how much physical environments shape mental states. A messy room quietly tells your brain, we've given up. A clean space says, we're trying again. That's why cleaning your environment changes your mood almost immediately. Not because cleaning is magical, because action interrupts helplessness. Momentum begins with visible movement. Then comes the hardest part. You need to do one thing without distraction, eat without YouTube, walk without music, shower without rehearsing arguments in your head, just one activity with full attention. At first it feels uncomfortable, almost itchy. That's because your brain got addicted to constant stimulation. Silence feels threatening when you've spent years drowning it out. But underneath that discomfort is something important. Your actual life. The smell of coffee, water hitting your skin, the sound of birds you stopped hearing years ago. Tiny moments most people completely miss while racing towards some future moment where life finally begins. But life was happening the entire time, you just weren't there for it. Around midday, your brain will probably try pulling you backward again. That's normal. You'll suddenly want to quit, scroll, escape, numb yourself again. Because your old identity wants familiarity, even when familiarity is miserable. That's why change feels uncomfortable. Your nervous system confuses familiar pain with safety. But this is the moment that matters most, not the morning motivation, the afternoon resistance, when the excitement disappears and choice remains. So when that moment comes, don't make your life harder. Make it smaller. Take a walk. Drink water slowly. Breathe deeply for 1 minute. Simple actions calm overwhelmed nervous systems. People think they need more motivation. Usually they need less overload. And tonight, before sleeping, do something most people never do. Review your day without attacking yourself. No inner courtroom, no "I wasted my life." Just observe. Where did you feel present today? When did you feel disconnected? What made you feel human again? Awareness changes behavior faster than shame ever will. That's another lie modern self-improvement sells. That hating yourself enough eventually creates discipline. It doesn't. It creates exhaustion. People grow faster through self-respect than self-hatred. That's why some people stay stuck for years. Every attempt at improvement secretly comes from disgust. And your mind cannot sustainably heal in an environment constantly attacking it. Real change feels different, quieter, less dramatic, more forgiving. You stop trying to become a different person overnight and start becoming slightly more present each day. That's how people actually rebuild their lives. Not through one massive breakthrough, but through repeated moments of returning to their body, returning to attention, returning to the life directly in front of them, one conscious breath at a time. And here's the strange thing. If you do this properly for even one day, something shifts. Your problems may still exist, but you no longer feel completely consumed by them. There's suddenly space between you and the chaos, space to think clearly again, space to respond instead of react, space to remember that your life is not over just because you lost your direction temporarily. Broken things can still function, but people are different. People can heal slowly, quietly, repeatedly, not by becoming perfect, but by coming back to themselves again and again until being present becomes natural. So no, 24 hours won't magically fix your life, but it can interrupt the pattern destroying it. And sometimes that interruption is all a person needs to begin again.